How's it going, everyone? My name is Colin Winters. I'm the host of Panthers Den, and welcome to Week 1 pregame review. So, with this little video that I'm going to be doing throughout the entire season, with every week that we go by in the NFL season, we are finally here at Week 1. I'm just going to go over a little bit of a pregame, and then after the game on Sunday, Thursday, whenever the game happens, I will then have a little recap afterwards. But this is our pregame for Week 1. Week 1, of course, the Panthers' opponent is the Jets. This is a big game for our new quarterback who just came from them. That would be, of course, Sam Darnold. I'm incredibly excited to see him play. I have no idea how this game is going to go down, but I have high confidence that we're going to win. It's just about how close the game is. We could either light up the Jets and give Zach Wilson a hell of a debut and make him have a real welcome to the NFL moment, or we could have a close, tightly contested game with a underrated Jets wide receiver core. Because while the Jets didn't give Sam anything, they made some more acquisitions since Sam has left, because, of course, screw Sam, right? Either way, I'm just going to highlight some of the important people who are out. Of course, for the Panthers, that would be Shi Smith, rookie wide receiver that did great during the preseason. We're not going to rush him into playing anytime. It will be just fine with Terrace Marshall coming in at wide receiver 3. Shi Smith, of course, was going to be returning some kicks, but we activated a new guy off of our practice squad to do that now anyway. Another important out to think about is our starting right guard, John Miller. John Miller is out with an injury for the game, and he will not play against the Jets. That is a huge blow because offensive line is, of course, one of our biggest holes that we have in the team. So with that, we either are going to see Michael Jordan or Deontay Brown stepping in at that place. I'm not sure who's going to be starting there. Could be Michael Jordan, who we picked up just recently, or rookie Deontay Brown. No matter what, it is a pretty hard hit because of the fact that right guard was already weak, and now we're just using a guy who we didn't see as starting capable yet. So hopefully we can see some real work being put in from the guys behind on the depth chart. But on the depth chart that I have here, which is from the Panthers website itself, both Michael Jordan and Deontay Brown are behind John Miller at right guard position. So it'll be either one of those two because Matt Caskey, who's also behind them, is on IR. Now, of course, I do want to put that A.J. Bouye is suspended. I haven't talked about him too much during these past videos because of the fact that he's not going to be playing for, I believe, the first 2 games. He was suspended last season, so he has to work off the end of that suspension for the substance abuse policy because NFL. We're going to be seeing him not play until week 3. And then, of course, we have Troy Pride Jr., who is on IR at the moment, meaning that our corners are lacking, but with J.C. Horn and Dante Jackson, I feel like we'll be just fine. Now, when it comes to the Jets, things get a little bit more interesting. Just recently that we found out that wide receiver Jamison Crowder is not going to be playing the game, and Keelan Cole is still questionable. Then after that, you have, with their wide receivers, you have Corey Davis, Elijah Moore, and you have Braxton Berrios and Denzel Mims. All wide receivers that are, I would say, pretty underrated. None that are great names, but people that go fly under the radar. But, of course, none of them have really hit their stride until this year after Sam has left. And Sam has an infinitely better receive core on the Panthers. So we surrounded Sam with weapons, and now we're going to have to see what Zach Wilson does with this. There is listed that Mekhi Becton got off of questionable status when he had a concussion. And otherwise, they got Greg Van Roten on right guard. So I know our starting right guard got injured, but many Panthers, we know that we should be fine going up against Greg Van Roten. Yeah. It still hurts. Overall, in this matchup, I see the Panthers winning. If I had to give you a guess at what the score would be, I'm going to say that it's going to be 28-13 or 28-10, depending on if our defense can really solidify in week 1 and not have to ramp up like they did last time. Last year, they had to ramp up a little bit, congeal, and with a lot more new guys on that defense again, we're going to have to see what we can do to make sure we are a cohesive unit and if we're going to be working together from the start. On the Jets' defensive side of the ball, I'm going to be looking over at their depth chart real quick. We got some pretty good names, C.J. Mosley being the one that puffs out at me, Quinnen Williams, of course, and then Sheldon Rankins. After that, Marcus May is not bad at all, and LaMarcus Joyner also pops out. But after that, I don't see too much that we should be worried about. I got names that I don't even remember anymore, and they have a lot of their defensive depth that is on either IR or out for the game. Of course, that being Kyle Phillips, Gerard Davis, Troy Niesman, who cares? Now, of course, I can't go without addressing the elephant in the room, this of course being Sam Darnold's revenge game. But if you ask Sam Darnold, he wouldn't say anything about that. Sam Darnold has had a great mindset going into the season, being that he didn't play well enough, so he's going to make sure that doesn't happen again with this new team. And honestly, you could either be pumped up because he has the fire to play better, or you could wish that he had that revenge mindset, because of course that works for some people. I remember Eric Ebron saying there's nothing better than scoring a touchdown against your former team, but with Sam, that's not the case. All he wants to do is prove his worth, he wants to prove that he can play, and he wants to play better than he ever did while at the Jets. He, of course, seems to be a lot more comfortable in our offensive system under Joe Brady and Matt Rule, because Robbie Anderson has been singing his praises, saying he's never had this type of energy, saying that he's never looked more comfortable. And I feel like with our system that can be tailored to Sam Darnold, we're going to be using a lot of different ways to make sure that he can actually use that big arm that he has not been able to show off quite adequately with the Jets. So, with a lack of more things to say, it's going to come down more to what happens after the game and what we can talk about there. All we have to do now is wait and see how this very young team works together. We have one of the youngest rosters in the NFL, we are filled with young talent, and it's time to see if they can come together in week 1 and play ball. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.